All right, here we are at the Fox Media Availability Session. Jimmy Johnson is here, Michael Strahan, Howie Long, Curt Menefee, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. We're going to try to get as many clips as we can and get one answer to one question. What is the biggest question all of these analysts and personalities want to see answered come Sunday? Rob, what is the biggest question that you see this Sunday? What's the question you want to see answered?
Is Peyton gonna beat Eli Manning and the FanDuel kick of destiny? That's my question, because I'm actually hosting that in the live pregame show.
The guy who did it last year didn't fare too well, eh?
No, the guy that did it last year, he got booted actually. He passed it on to the Mannings because this guy, I don't know who did the FanDuel kick of destiny. Some guy, I don't know, but he missed, and he missed the year before. I'm not a fan of him, man. The guy can't kick. He let down America. He was bragging that he was going to make it for America. So now he got booted. And now I'll be hosting Kick of Destiny 3. Thank God. I mean, I got a job now, which is great. And it's Peyton Manning versus Eli Manning, and it's whoever makes the kick first, and they get 3 tries. So it's gonna be fun.
You were talking about destinations before. Vancouver. You're coming up in a couple of weeks. Have you ever been to Vancouver before?
I've been to Vancouver before. Great city. I love walking around and just enjoying all the sights that you see on the walk. And also, I want to hit up Whistler. I'm a big skier, and Whistler, the ski resort, I hear it's the best in the world. I really do. So hopefully when I'm up there in Vancouver, great city, that I get to, head up to Whistler eventually. We'll see what happens.
Well, nice to see you again.
You again.
Seattle's finest.
Yes, well, thank you.
When you talk about Super Bowls, what is it for you to be part of a Super Bowl broadcast?
It's the ultimate dream. I mean, I was an 11-year-old girl with a paper towel roll and a tennis ball taped to it, interviewing my brother like he was Jay Buhner, begrudgingly, because he thought he was so stupid. He was 13 years old, and he's like, "You're dumb." But I remember in those moments thinking, God, I wish I could do this job one day. So I never, ever take for granted the opportunity to be covering a Super Bowl, to be at a Super Bowl, to be standing on a sideline. Erin and I have a tradition before she does her first hit, give each other a big hug, and I stand there and I watch her do her first hit, and then we just sort of, have that very proud moment that we've been lucky enough to do this job, but get to do it together and with everybody that we work with.
What has you excited about the broadcast on Sunday?
Oh, we have a lot of fun things surprised. I am not willing to lose my job over telling you these things I can't tell you, but you guys, hopefully the audience will, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of storylines around a Super Bowl, whether it's individual players, whether it's the location. So really looking forward to showing the world what Fox does, because no one does it better than Fox.
Always great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Julian, you were a college quarterback. You almost came to Canada with the Lions. You were recruited by them. How many more Super Bowls, how many more parties could you guys have had at Monica's had you been the quarterback instead of Brady?
Absolutely zero. I went to receiver for a reason. No, but those were some fun times. Monica's, good spot.
I got to ask you, all kidding aside, what's the biggest question you want to see answered this Sunday?
Biggest question I want to see answered this Sunday. Can Saquon Barkley, for the sake of the running back, go out there and dethrone the champs? That's like the question, because these last few years, we've all got in the talks of, we saw the running backs try to make a union, we not paying them, they're not as valuable. To see the year that Saquon's had this year, to be a catalyst for that position, that's honestly a true necessity for this game, because the run game is what opens up everything. I think that's a huge question. Can he do it? That'd be amazing.
Thanks, man. All right. Curt, how you doing? Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. Yeah, everything good? We talk about it for broadcasters, but, the Super Bowl, talk about career highlights. This is a career highlight not only for the players, but for the crew as well, right?
Absolutely. It's one of those things you do, and you go, if I was sitting at home, I'd be mad. I'd be jealous. I would wish that I were at the Super Bowl, and getting to do this, normally it's every 3 or 4 years as a quirk in the schedule. We got to do it 2 out of 3, but it's rare. It's rare that anybody gets to do it. It's rare that people get to do multiple ones. This is my 8th Super Bowl at Fox. So I've been fortunate to be here and back and forth so many times. But it's the pinnacle of this business, because there's nothing like covering the NFL. And there's nothing in the NFL like doing a Super Bowl.
One question we're asking all of the analysts and talent with Fox. there's one question on Sunday you want to see answered, what is it?
In the football game itself?
In the game.
Can the Chiefs slow down, I won't say stop, Saquon Barkley? I think that's the key to the game for them. I think if you look at it, on paper, I think Philadelphia is the better team. I really do. I think they've got an advantage at almost every place except maybe quarterback and head coach, because Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are Hall of Famers. But I think that if Saquon Barkley, he doesn't even have to have one of those 200-yard games. If he has 110, 120 total, I think it'll be a long day for Kansas City. But that said, I can't pick against the Chiefs. I mean, they find a way to win, and it's a different guy every week. It's someone you're not counting on that makes a play on third down, that makes a play at the end of the game, that makes a defensive stop. So it's hard to pick against them, even though you look at it talent-wise and think Philadelphia may be better. So stopping Saquon's the key, though.
Have a good call on Sunday.
All right, thank you. Always good to see you.
All right, let's ask you a tough question. When are you coming back to Vancouver, Whistler, film Firestorm 2?
Oh, God. You know, it's funny. They laugh about that, but Firestorm made its money.
It's a good movie.
A lot of films make their money. I love Vancouver. I can't. Who can you afford to live in Vancouver?
Barely.
I can't afford to live in Vancouver.
You could afford it. Come on. Howie, all kidding aside, one question. What is the biggest question you want to see answered come Sunday?
Probably two questions. One is the Spagnuolo blitz packages versus Philadelphia's offensive line, Saquon and Jalen, and the enigma to me that is Jalen, because I think Jalen gets, far too much criticism. Let's look at it this way. Jalen played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and you could make the case that Jalen was the best player on the field. Look at the numbers, watch the film. 70 yards on the ground, over 300 passing, 3 touchdowns. He was great versus one of the greatest defensive coordinators in the history of the game. Last year, they've got terrible coordinators. The offense falls off a cliff, and he's dinged, and it's a terrible year. This year, Saquon comes in, and he's got to play a totally different style of offense. Their run-pass ratio is distorted by today's standards. I mean, they're running the ball so much more than they're throwing the football. Now, Jalen has played big in big games, and he played big in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and I'd really like to see him cut it loose. I don't think this will be a straitjacket game. I really don't.
So 2 questions they've got over there, Bull?
That's it.
Okay. Last one, I got a buddy, G's got a basement suite. We'll be in touch.
All right.
Thanks, Howie.
That's all I can afford is a basement up there.
Thanks, Howie. One question. What's the question you want to see answered come Sunday?
What the question I want to see answered that comes Sunday?
On the field.
Oh, man. Will there be a three-peat? Will there be a three-peat? Will Saquon have the ultimate resurrection? And not saying that his career was in the dumps after the season before with the Giants, but to see a guy that go to another team and have this much impact that actually turns into a Super Bowl victory would be an incredible answer to the question I have.